Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another edition of This Is Recorded Podcast. I'm joined by a young man, young genius, young scholar, hooper, extraordinaire. Just came from playing ball, all of that. Please introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Dre. How y'all doing? Just chilling here with my brother.
Yes, sir, man. I'm a young guy, man. I seen this guy grow up. You don't remember when I wasn't around, man. That's how long it's been, man.
For real, that's real.
So growing up, what did you want to be? Growing up, what did you think?
Really, like when it came to like an actual career, like my first career choice, I was gonna be like a lawyer. But then law school and all that stuff. I realized law school that's a lot of school.
It's a whole lot of school.
But I feel like every kid really wanted to play some type of professional sport. So I mean the NBA, of course, NFL was thought about, but really the NBA majority.
Yeah. So who was some of your favorite players growing up?
Kobe for sure.
Yeah.
Kobe and Kyrie, his rookie year. I remember because he used to pop up on like Disney XD shows and stuff.
Oh my God.
Nah, him, Chris Bosh, like really all of them. Like back then, that's when it was popping for hoopers to get on TV and stuff, like kid shows.
Yeah. So with sports and stuff, like which one do you think you gravitated to the most first? Because I know you played baseball, basketball, different things. And football. It seemed like basketball came later, but that's the one you fell in love with. Like for me, I like baseball first, strangely, because I mean it was around me, and the Yankees was everything. So,
Yeah.
but like basketball ended up being my love. So what was it for you? Like, because you were doing the t-ball, then you went into football, then like basketball just really feel like your thing now.
Yeah, like growing up, because my dad played football, so I was just going around like folks telling me, oh yeah, you're gonna be good at football, you gotta play football, this, that, and the third. Going to school, coaches walking up to me, hey, you trying out for the football team? I don't even know the coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Size,
it was just really about like the pressure that was put on me to play a sport that I really didn't care about.
Yeah.
I never really liked football, like playing it. I was good at it, but I didn't really like playing it.
Yeah, and it seems like that too. Like a lot of football players, like 11th grade year, they just was messing around and end up being like great at it. So yeah, like, and then basketball for tall dudes, they'd be like 6'10", 6'6", and the coach would be like, "Hey man, you never thought about playing basketball?" And they end up playing basketball.
Yeah,
So
and then they'd be nice.
they'd be super. Like some people start in 11th grade and just end up being great. Like Amari Stoudemire, I think, started in 11th, and back then you didn't have to do no college, so he just went straight to the pros. Like, it was just crazy. 2 years, and that was it, man. So, school, man, how was it, like, growing up? Because I know, just like, you went to the regular elementary school, then you went to the Christian school, then you went back to elementary school, and then you went to Dutch Sound, like, we went to high school. So, how was it for you growing up? Because I know at first it was like, school was boring, because I feel like you're a smart dude, so I think it could get boring for you. So the first, like, elementary, I guess, like, K through, like, second grade, how was it when you was going to the first elementary school?
Really, it was, like, that I remember, it was, like, schoolwork was never hard. It was, like, schoolwork my entire life really hasn't been hard. It's just, they just put a lot of work in your face and they make you not want to do it, but really all of it be saying the same thing. So it's just be easy.
And then it was
K through 12, not K through 12, K through second grade.
And then it was just boring for you.
Yeah,
at that point.
But after like once I got to middle school and high school, I started having a great time. I just started living it up.
But how did you feel when you was in the? I get they call it PWIs. I learned that from Kyrie and them, man.
Yeah,
but like,
PWIs.
how did you feel going to that kind of PWI as like one of the few black kids? Like, how did that make you feel?
Nah, I go to Fort Valley.
No, I'm saying when you went to,
when you
were young.
Oh yeah.
We ain't gonna give them their credit, man.
Yeah.
You know what school I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How did it feel like as a young black kid, like you one of the few black kids going there?
Really, I just felt like it kind of made me feel like I didn't really belong there. Like everybody dressed and act a certain way, and y'all was raising me, so like I was having a lot of, you know what I'm saying, just the black culture just to be dropped into white culture. It's different, and then they looking at you like something like they've never seen you before. Like they little white kids. They don't get exposed to black kids for real. Like their families really keep them separated until like they get to public school. If they're in private school, they don't see nobody but white folks unless you out in public.
And like, do you feel like that was like your first experience with like racism? I remember one time you told us like it was like a girl and she was like, you know, her dad doesn't let her date black dudes, and y'all was like in second and third grade, so it was like y'all not really dating anyway. But was that like your first experiences with like this kind of is weird? Like, aren't we just people?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, but my first experience was like in music class. I was like in first grade. And we was in there, and she was showing a video of like I forgot why, but it was a video of basically starving black kids, like basically like a third world country, but it was like starving black kids on the screen, and they looked just like me. And a kid, I said, "Oh, them my people." That's exactly what I said. And then like she had said some slick remark, I can't really remember, but she had said some slick remark like toward like, "Oh, everybody," something like just made the class like say something about me. And like it was mad racist though. I just can't remember because it was so long ago. Like
it just be weird. Like, so throughout your life, have you had other experiences like that?
For sure.
Like
on the game, definitely on the game. That's majority of it. But like out in public, it would be like out in school, like getting like if you any interaction like I've ever had with a white police officer. Yeah. It was always that.
Yeah, cause like for me in California, it was like. I got pulled over like 3 different times. It's like, one time it's like, well, you look real young. The second time it's like, you driving with your lights off or you trying to do a drive-by, and I had somebody grandma in the back seat. And then it's just like, it's just constant thing. But for me as a kid, like in elementary school, it was like just playing around, you know, joking with everybody. And then like a little white kid kicked me. It was like, nigger. And I was like, whoa. Like, I couldn't even like, it wasn't even like a real reaction because it's like I don't even know. Like I was like, wow, like this is like the third grade and you don't even know how to react to it. It's kind of like a shock thing. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had anything like that, or you never had those kind of experiences?
Yeah, it was one time where I ended up getting into a fight with him because like he had called me out my name. Like, so I was like, okay, but I let it slide the first time because like, you know, we in school. I'm not really trying to do too much, and he really didn't say it, but he acted like he was finna say it. And I said, all right, bro, I said, say it if you want to. And he said straight up, he the nigger. Oh, whoa.
And this was at what grade?
This was middle school. This is at middle school.
Wow. Yeah, and it was kind of, and it seemed like it was hard for you transitioning too, because you left that predominantly white school, then you went to pretty much black school, and then it seemed like you were getting into it with people there. Like, how did that feel for you, like, growing up? Like, damn, it's like, where do I belong at? Because it's like, damn, over here they treat me weird, and over here, like, they fucking with me, and I feel like, I know you'll fight or whatever, but you don't really want to, and it feels like they were fucking with you all the time. So how did that feel, going from that, then going into that?
It was like, you know, I mean, I didn't really care like that, because these folks on this side, you know what I'm saying, they just ain't seen nobody like me. They ain't had no interactions for real with black people. These people are black people, that's how they act. Yeah. And I know that, but like me being black, I know that's how they act, because I was still going outside and stuff like that. Yeah. But like I would see these folks at school, and then it's just like, oh yeah, he's new, let's get on him.
Yeah, and it just felt like for you, because you had things, it seemed like it was hate. Like, I think a lot of, for us young black kids, stuff like that, we don't know, like, damn, how did you get that, or like something like that. It's just automatic hate.
But back in when I was going to that school, it wasn't even like that, because they had stuff that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first time really seeing. I was going from that school wearing like Sperry's to like coming to this school, everybody got Jordans, Nikes, all that. I'm like, okay, these are cool. Yeah. And I'm like, and then I'll be trying to get some, and then my mom be like, no, I don't know about these such and such.
So what did you think it was that they like didn't like about you? Because it like you didn't bother nobody.
I feel like people just don't like my personality. I mean, either you like me or you don't, and like when you realize that you not liking me has no effect on me, then you don't like me. You don't like me even more.
No, it's just good, because it seemed like you went through the transition, and then when you finally moved, and in the house you living in now, it seemed like things were like smooth. Like, what do you think was smooth about that? Like going to school over there and just like everything, you meet your lifelong friends, some people you still friends with now, like. How did that feel to finally get all that bullshit out of your system and then go to, you know, later middle school into high school, and things was kind of cool?
Yeah, you know, stuff was still happening, but it was, for the most part, it was just perfect for me.
Yeah.
Like kicking it with them, like kicking it with folks I kick it with now, locking in with them for real, like talking to different people and then like actually having business conversations with actual adults and stuff, like the little connections that I've made and stuff.
And I think it was better too because I think it's like still mostly black, but it's a good little mix of white kids in there too. I think it's a little melting pot. I think that's what helped you for real, is because it's like either one is too much for your personality fits that school perfect, because you can literally talk to somebody who play chess to somebody who's playing 2K and hooping every day. Like you could fit in with any crowd. So
I feel like that's why people didn't like me like that neither, because I could walk up to anybody and we could start a conversation. Like you, at the end of the day, everybody's a person, but you know, back when people in school, like they have these little statuses, like oh yeah, these the nerds, these the folks that play football, basketball, cheerleaders, and like they would click up. I never like would click up. I would walk around like in the cafeteria, they all click up at different tables. I'm walking to every table. And folks wouldn't like that because this table don't mess with this table, but I don't got nothing to do with y'all.
And that's how it was for me at school, because it was like I'm cool with everybody, and like in California it was black and Mexican riots all the time, so it's like if I see my boy getting jumped that's black, like you ain't gonna jump him, but it's like I'm kind of cool with everybody. But it put me in a weird position because it's like, bro, like I'm not really trying to catch nobody beef because I be by myself, so I'm like, y'all be in a gang all hanging out together. Like, I'm not about to get caught up. So it was the same way for me, because it was like hard, because it's like, damn, I got school class with these people and they cool, but then when we get out here, they about to fight my friends. So it put me like,
and then folks look at you like,
why you ain't help?
Because like, and then they look at you like you switching, but in the beginning you was cool with everybody from jump. But at the end of the day, one of those sides not gonna mess with you no more because of it.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully I ain't never had to choose, but it's like, it get weird because like back in them days, the gunplay got involved, and then like some of my friends shot at my other friends, and it's just like I don't know what to say about it. Like I don't know, like I'm not gonna beef with them, but I also don't want them to do that to you. So it's like, and then they be talking to you like, oh, you cool with them though, and it's like I don't know what to do. Like it's just
I don't know what y'all want me to do.
It's just like that's what I'm saying. Like back in them days, I just kind of stayed to myself, say what's up to somebody real quick, and keep it moving. Because it's like I know if I get seen too much over here, it's gonna be a problem. I get seen too much over there, it's gonna be a problem.
That's why. I try to keep it to where like I have a mutual relationship with everybody. That way, like you won't think that I'm clicked up with nobody. They just know me.
It's always important to be your own man.
Yeah, like at the end, like I don't need like that. That was a really big thing. Like folks don't understand. Like people feel like they need to have like a big homie or like somebody to like tell them what to do.
That's gang mentality, because a lot of these dudes didn't have like father figures. So it's like, you know, I'm 13, he's 16, but he's like my dad. It's like that makes no fucking logical sense. But for somebody that's lost, it's like
that's all. If that's all you got, that's all you got. And I'm not knocking it, because like some people in those situations, they
find family for real.
Like for real.
Like the whole YSL thing, like them dudes is real family. But the weird thing about the gangs and even family too, like with gang shit, once y'all go down, somebody gonna tell. Like it's 15 of y'all. Like I think GS9, like Bobby Shmurda, them the only ones that like nobody really told. Like every other gang thing, people
he sat for a minute.
People tell, but he like everybody ends up telling. But like YSL, like we'll find out later on. But I mean, it's a lot of them too. So it's just like, I mean, if somebody sits you down and say, I'm about to give you 100 years, like you start like, I don't know. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? Like, how much can I tell you to get my sentence reduced? So back to our conversation about that whole gang thing, it's like, we all hanging out one gang, like, okay, well, he was over there when they were shooting, so let's put him in, lock him up, and then he'll tell. But if you just off to yourself, it's like, he just be around every once in a while. He don't really. So you can't really be caught up.
And that's the
like
thing
that.
too. People don't be thinking about that, but the police watch stuff like that, and that's what
time.
they. But that's not what they're not gonna tell you that. Like, oh yeah, he be with him. Like, first of all, the call log don't tell it all.
Yeah.
And then the messages, and people love posting stuff
and it's
on
just,
social media.
And I mean, your era is like, you know, we had old school. You got to develop pictures, so police really got to find it. Now the police just sit back and chill on social media, man. So
and that's all they do.
They just chill back. I mean, because it's like if you got a new gun or something, you're gonna show it off, and it's like you dumbasses too. Like literally, I think for Pooh Shiesty, I think they zoomed in on the bills that he had, and it was connected to the robbery. It was like they literally just made the picture bigger and seen the serial numbers and was like, that's it. You posted a picture with what you stole. It's like, it's hard for y'all era growing up because everybody got to show it. They got to show something.
Because somebody always want to impress somebody
It's
else.
just like so bad that it's like, the pressure of it, because I feel like, I mean, most people feel like it ain't real if you ain't showing it.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got no bread. Like, you say you got bread, but I don't see it, so people show it.
But that's...
Say you got guns, but you don't show it.
Show
Like,
it.
but then when they show it,
and then you get caught up. But that's the thing, though. Like, all the rich people, like, you could walk past a billionaire in the mall. He got flip flops and shorts on and a white beater with a stain on it.
Yeah.
He got 30 M's in his bank account.
and I mean that's cool too. Because I feel like as black people, we still need to be us, but you just gotta be smart about it.
But I'm saying though, I was saying that like, cause like, you know,
they just don't
nothing.
value it the same. Like,
yeah.
I mean, because they have it. When you really know you got it, you ain't gotta show everybody.
Yeah.
But when you know,
when you don't have it, when you go from not having it to having it,
yeah,
you gonna want to show
the
it
world.
off.
Shit.
But
yeah.
I guess I'm different because I'm one of them dudes that's like, when I get to this money that I'm trying to get to, I'm not gonna show anybody. I don't have to. I feel like I don't have to. I'm not gonna tell nobody what I got going on. If you with me, you with me. If you're not, you gonna be looking from the outside in.
That's the way it is, man.
That's how it's supposed to be.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's supposed to be.
But music, you know, I love music. What were some of the songs you got into on your own, like growing up? Like nobody showed it. Like you got like. I think it was around like Fetty Wap and 21 Savage that you got into.
Because you had took me to my first concert. Yeah, that man Reggie took me to my first concert. 21
Savage. That was before that though. Like I think Fetty Wap, but you were younger when you got into Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap. But like I didn't really know how to like do stuff on the phone to where I could like. I didn't know I could look and first search for my own music and stuff like that.
But so who was some of the artists that you got into? I guess on your own, like. That, cause I didn't know 21 Savage until y'all told me about it.
Yeah, like the mainstream, like 21, Uzi, Future.
Yeah.
What's the name? Youngboy later on down the line. Lil Baby when he first came out because he dropped that My Dog song. Hood Rich Pablo.
Yeah.
And then it just kept going.
Key Glock and stuff like that,
yeah,
man.
Key
Yeah,
Glock.
but
Gotta shout him out.
it was funny because we was at the water park yesterday and the Let It Shine song came on.
No, yeah,
that's
a legend. That's a banger too.
Man, people don't know it. You had to be there, man.
You had to be there.
Let It Shine.
You had to be there.
I literally was watching it the other day and noticed that Chloe and Haley was in it. Chloe Bailey, the girl that they got. I was like, that's them in the church in the first scene.
I didn't.
If you go back and look in the first scene, that's them two like in the church singing with his dad and stuff. And when they changed the music up and started rapping, I was like, wow, I remember that was a good time, man. You and Keon used to go off to that one, man.
Yeah, that was legendary.
It was hilarious, man. But music is everything, man. Like, music is just like the vibe. It's the vibe to all of our lives, man. Like, what do you think it is about Youngboy that everybody like gravitates to? I feel like for me, I guess it's like his pain and stuff and his suffering, and he puts it in music form. And I think a lot of people relate to that. Like, you know, a lot of the younger kids relate to that more than anything. Like, but see, what people don't notice though about him is that like he has a lot of pain because he had like a halo and stuff like as a kid. Like, so he got bullied. That's why them scars and stuff on his head and shit like that. Like, that's why he's so angry. I mean, I'm sure maybe his dad wasn't around, shit like that. But like when he got that halo and shit, like that probably put a lot of anger in him. And it went out, and thankfully it went into the music, but obviously it's fucking up other parts of his life. You know what I'm saying? So, but what do you think it is from your perspective why so many people gravitate toward him?
Really just, it's like the reason everybody kind of like got on the Youngboy wave is because like, I feel like his music was just the vibe, bro. Like really, cause he can, any beat really. I've heard this man like, get angry and hop on a beat and write a whole pain song and then sing and get on the song, did some techno stuff, rapped on a song like he was not Cardi B, Playboy Cardi. Yeah. Like he did a song like that called Syracuse, I think. Yeah. And he just switched it up, but he's like the versatility for real. And people were hating on it, and then that's what blew Youngboy up for real, cause it was either you either best with Youngboy or you didn't, and then that argument just blew him up even more.
And him like the Triple X dude, like they both blew up when they was locked up. Like they was both locked up, and then they end up being big. And like, another thing with him, I watched his documentary on Hulu X, and it was like he seen his mom get beat up, different things. Like I think these younger artists, they feel pain and they put it in the music, and like a lot of kids gravitate towards it. Like, but YoungBoy's definitely got a chokehold. Like I just hope like the beef stuff just settle down. Like I hope it just like, bro, let's just make music. Like you're a young black dude that's getting an opportunity that like a lot of people not gonna see, sniff, think about. So it's just like, bro, and for your kids too. Like
really, that would be the main reason people like. I would hope for somebody like YoungBoy to settle down your kids.
Yeah.
And people need to start putting their kids first. That's the real thing.
Yeah, it's like everybody see that.
Everybody trying to live like you feel. I feel like once you have like a kid of your own, you got to stop living for just yourself because everything you do has a.
And then he has that, like he talks about it, but I guess people don't hear it. Like he like. I seen him one time on live. He's like, I don't want to get on here because people gonna start making fun of me or this or that, or like if you do makeup, if you do whatever. Like you could tell like he has things, but the number one thing that gravitates is the anger and starting shit with people. Yeah. That's like Triple X was like, I would fight people, I would do crazy shit at my shows because he knew like that's what's gonna take off. Yeah. So I feel like the same for YoungBoy, but YoungBoy, man, and like Triple X too, they got so much power because it's like. Little kids having YoungBoy parties and like 5 years old and stuff like that. It's like I really hope that one day, I mean, while he's still living, man, it's like you got to tap into that power because you got a lot of control and you got a lot of greatness. So I hope he really could get into that one day.
I really feel like the one that's doing that though, like empowering the youth a little bit. I feel like Lil Baby got more.
For sure, he's finding a cool way to do it because like literally. If YoungBoy switched up his music right now, a lot of people might be like, yeah, that shit trash. Yeah. And it's hard to like, just like when people smoke or people drink lean, it's like, when they try to like make music without it, sometimes it don't come out. Yeah. So it's like, they trying to find a way to make it all work, but it's really, really hard to make it all work. Like, it's a problem, man. But YoungBoy, man, we see you, man. We want you to do well. I think he's gonna make it. I think he's gonna be alright. Just time.
He already made it. No,
I think he's gonna make it to go further and like figure it out. But it's hard. Sure. Like I know that it's not easy. Like
especially not with 8 kids.
He can't. But he also can't make it like, hey, let's love each other. So like, it's gonna be hard to make that cool. Like. Let's love each other now, guys. Like,
after all the beef,
ain't nobody gonna hear that shit. They want to hear like, I'm gonna up this bitch. They want to hear all of that. They want to hear that. All right. So in school, like, how did you navigate? Because it's really hard. Like, I know even for me, when people ask me like, hey, what do you want to do when you get out of school? It's like, nigga, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, first of all, I just want to graduate, and then I don't know. Like, how did you feel? Like, I guess going into senior year, trying to like. Navigate and figure that out. Like, how did you try to figure out something? Because even when you get in college, your first year or two, sometimes you still don't know. So, like, how did you kind of, like, navigate and kind of figure out, like, what you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I really just got to talk. I had a conversation with my mom, and, like, she was basically explaining to me how, like, you wanna make yourself marketable. You want to be able to make more money than the average person with just certain credentials. Yeah. And like the idea of putting my mom making sure my parents are straight. Yeah. That's just like that's a dream and that's the goal. And how am I going to get myself in that position? So I have to have more degrees than the people who raised me. Yeah. And so like thinking about and then like getting all these college offers and stuff like that. At first I didn't even want to go to college. Yeah. But then I went to college and it was like I had some of the best times of my life. Like for real talk. Like those were so like and that was my first year.
And how is it that first year like kind of being on your own? Like what was the transition like?
It was different, but it was like because I knew y'all wasn't that far, but it's still like y'all not here. Yeah. It was just kind of like just me basically putting into my head like, okay, this is my apartment. This is where I live. I go to school here. Whenever I want to leave, I can. That's how I thought about it. Like I just live a little minute away from y'all. That's how I thought about it. Really.
And how was it like learning other people's life stories and what they come through? Like how did you feel about your life compared to theirs? Because you have a big family that's in your life that most people don't have. Like they don't really have it like that. So how did it feel like talking to other people and learning their stories and stuff.
It was really different because like one of my like these boys, everybody got like a real different story. It's like you wouldn't even imagine some of the stuff like some of these people have been through, but then again, you wouldn't imagine some of the stuff I've been through, and it's crazy because like I be thinking that folks not really real people, like they kind of but seeing a real genuine person telling you their life story, and it's kind of like it got dark real fast.
But how did it make you feel? Like that's what I'm saying. Like because I felt that like when we seen you a couple weeks ago, it seemed like dang, like I kind of miss y'all because it's like I feel like you got a chance to realize like it's really fucked up out there. Like and people have some really hard stories. So what was that like for you? Like knowing like damn, my shit's kind of alright. Like family wise. Compared to everybody else.
Yeah, even seeing the stuff that I was seeing in high school, middle school, like seeing the stuff that I was seeing, then it was like, yeah, I'm pretty good. Like I'm straight. I don't really have to really interact with y'all like how y'all want me to.
Yeah.
And then I started treating, and then like you gotta hold yourself at a higher level.
Yeah.
But like seeing other people holding themselves at that same level to be able to talk about they past and stuff, that's strong. Like that's real strength.
Yeah. And how does it feel, you think, going to a HBCU rather than like a regular, predominantly white school, stuff like that? Like, how does it feel going? Because the HBCU don't get as much funding. The school ain't the nicest. Shit be fucked up. But, like, how does it feel, like, but just being around your people for real?
I'm not going to lie. Hey, going to a PWI is cool.
Yeah.
Go to a HBCU. Go to a HBCU for a weekend. Bet you want to transfer.
Yeah.
I bet you.
Because it just seemed like regular school, but like kids are on their own, they probably partying, they probably wilding out. But then like HBCU is a whole like we trading like, hey, how you get your waves like that? Who do your hair? This, that. Like these are things you can't really get at a PWI like that. Like it's like totally different.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, the podcast was interrupted by some very weirdness. I'm going to just say this. I'm not going to put them out there. Little girls, little boys, don't go to nobody's house, especially at 9 o'clock. Don't do it. It's weird. Don't do it, guys. I know I look young. I'm 34 out there, guys. I know I look young. I'm 34 years old. Please, don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, investigate.
Don't ever knock on a grown man's door and ask him if he got kids. No.
Yeah.
That's not the move.
That was weird. So, I don't even know where we were at.
Anyway, let's just...
Because that got...
from wherever. It don't matter.
That got sidetracked, man. So, like, basically what I was saying, like, family being active in your life. Because I come from a family that's not, like... like, I mean, it's not as close-knit as y'all's and stuff like that. Like, we talk and stuff like that. But, like, y'all's is different. I think that's why a lot of people want to come over your house and gravitate towards you and your family, like, stuff like that. So... like, how does it feel, like, having that, coming from that family? First of all, like, having a father in your life. Like, how does that feel?
Like, my dad, that's my guy. That's, like, my other half for real. Like, if I was to split myself into, my mom and my dad have both halves of my heart for real.
Yeah.
And, like, they keep me together for real. And like having my dad in my life meant like everything to me. Every game, every sport I've ever played, every game, when I was doing martial arts, every practice. You know what I'm saying? It was never a time when my dad wasn't there, and I was thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel like it affected your friends that don't have their dad in their life?
It made because like the way that my dad is, he basically made them feel like he took them in as like other sons or other daughters type. Because, like, that's how he treat everybody. He's just like that. But
how do you feel talking to people, like, their dad's situation ain't the best, or their dad wasn't in their life? How do you think they feel? Like, or have they shared stuff with you?
Yeah, like, You don't have to
say no names.
I'm not going to say no names, but one of my closest homeboys, he actually came to me and told me, like, hey, your dad is real life like my dad, because he had trauma and stuff like that growing up with his dad. But like he had his dad, but it was an abusive dad. Yeah. So you feel me? It was like he was telling me about how much my dad meant to him and how much knowledge my dad had gave him and stuff. And like that was real. That was cool listening to somebody else coming from a different situation. Yeah. But talking to you about your dad, like yeah, I know, but hearing it from somebody else it's like
I feel like dad is like that's just dad. But then when you see like other people gravitate and like really mess with them, you're like, damn. And as you get older, time reveals everything. You realize, like,
he's
damn,
a cool dude.
Like,
He's cool.
you blessed, man. Like, it's really good, man, to have a active dad, man. And then even for black men, like, I don't feel like, saying I love you and things like that, like, it get weird. Like, even for me still, it's like, I made it a point to say it to y'all and stuff like that, but it's just like, yeah, man, all right, love you, man, peace. Or something like that. Like, why do you think it's so weird for, like, black men to be like, hey, man, I love you, man, and stuff like that? Like,
I guess everybody feel like they gotta be tough. Or, like, men got this thing where, like, we gotta be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be tough all the time. It's never, like, can't show a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
That's what the world make you think.
Yeah.
Because, but that's, in some forms, it is true. Because, like, you show a form of weakness, then people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I really feel like it's cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it just really sucks the idea of, like, you wait till somebody's in the casket, like, damn, man, I love you so much. I loved you, and I wish I would have told you that more. Like,
life too short. This year alone, like, I done lost like 3 friends my age. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, life's too short for everybody to be trying to kill each other, trying to do this to do this to such and such when I see such and such. It's just like, bro, go live your life, go have fun, bro. It's too short.
It really is.
And then it's too short because, like, you'll never really know what you're missing out until it's gone.
Literally, like, you like, oh man, I'm gonna call this person tomorrow. I'm gonna do this tomorrow. I'm gonna do this next week, next month. Then turn the year. Then they die. You like, I thought we had more time, and it's like you don't have more time. That's why, like, for young black men, I think we need to kind of like tear down that wall. Like, let your mans know, let your friends know, your loved ones. Like,
ain't nothing
hey man,
wrong.
I love you, bro.
It's nothing wrong with telling you, like, your people that you love them, because like you never know when the next time they might see you.
Yeah.
Or you might see them. You never know. Anything can happen once they walk out your sight, your vision.
Yeah, and things is, man, and it's just like, you go through troubling times of life. Like, I know in high school things were troubling for you. Like, what do you feel like got you back on track? Like, hey man, I gotta kind of like get my shit together. Like, I can't be like fucking up like this and doing stupid shit. Like, what was, like, you ain't gotta tell what happened, but like, what. When do you feel like it clicked in your head, like, hey man, I don't think what I'm doing is cool, like maybe I should turn the corner and get this college thing situated?
Yeah, when I it was my senior year, and somebody I knew, they had dropped out, right? Yeah. And like, I'm still cool with this person to this day, but I'm watching them and they struggling right now. And I was like, okay, because I was like, I never really thought about dropping out of high school, but seeing him drop out of high school, it was like, and then seeing what, he's going through and stuff like that, it's like, I don't really want to put myself in that position to not have the credentials I need in order to get some stuff that I need to live. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because working a job fucking sucks. Like, they will never pay you enough to, like, really live. Like, even if you have a full-time job, you can't afford the lowest apartment, especially right now. Like, shit is super duper high, so it's just
gas is $4. That's crazy.
And then California is like $7.
That's so I get a horse, bro. Straight up,
straight
up. I get a horse.
That, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like, I feel like as a young kid, like, some country school end in 9th grade because you kind of know all you need to know about 9th grade, but it's just like, I don't know, I feel like especially for a lot of young black kids, it's like, bro, I'm bored with this. Like, I've been doing that. That's why, like, 11th to 12th grade, you be kind of burnt out with it. Like, you don't really care like that. Yeah. And that's the years where you really need to care, but it's like, I'm kind of burnt out. So it's just like, I mean, I understand the struggle. That's why, it's good to have a mentor. It's good to have people in your life that look like you, talk like you, could give you game. Not like, hey, you got to go to school. Like, hey, check this out. Go to school, get you a little cash, and you just like get some money, which make that last for a couple months, whatever, bust it down, whatever. Like, you need somebody to talk to you like that. You don't need like the regular school counselor way of talking to you. I think people relate better like that, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's important for everybody. Like, I'm the young black youth out there, man. That's why I wanted to have you on. Like, it's just like, hey man, people got to hear y'all out, understand what y'all going through, because growing up in social media is totally different than like, because I used to think like an old school way, like, oh man, these kids is pussy now. They just fucking whining all the time and on social media. But then I think about, like, if you get beat up and like a million people see that shit, like, That's a different level of
and
pressure.
That's sad, and it's sad that like the world work like that. But if anything goes down, it got so bad. I was watching a video on Instagram the other day, like these dudes robbing somebody at gunpoint, and everybody pulled their phones out.
It's just,
it's just. I'm thinking from like, okay, just me being a dude, like, or a real person in general, bro. If I up on somebody, if you up on somebody, and everybody pulls their camera out, and none of y'all have masks on,
it's just so
you're done. You're done,
and it's just
you're
so
finished.
Even like for girls too, it's like you got a little boyfriend or whatever. If you send news, whatever, and like he's a fuck nigga and show all his friends and shit. It's like, damn, like that's embarrassing for you walking around now. It's like, so all your homeboys see my shit, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and this is what make little girls and little kids like think about hurting themselves. It's like, I got beat up and I went fucking viral getting beat up. I went viral showing news. That's when I started to realize like, oh, it is different for these kids. Like, it's harder for these kids growing up. Like, cause like I didn't grow up like you fight somebody. Maybe the neighborhood hear about it, but ain't nobody gonna know about it. You can live right here. We can fight outside today, and the world will know about it as soon as somebody posts it. Like, that's a different level of pressure. I think, like, for the older people, they gotta kind of understand where kids is coming from, but also get them game. Like, and I think we gotta meet in the middle because it's like your young thoughts with my older experience, and let's meet somewhere in the middle. Like,
but it's so sad because the young is not trying to do that. They not trying to politic with the old head.
No, but the old heads be kind of like annoying sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta meet a dude.
But
like,
certain old heads though. But all the youngins is on the same type of time.
Because it's harder to like for me to tell a younger dude don't do this, don't do that when like all the older dudes just like. And then it's hard. It's so hard. Like even how people be weird on social media. You like that's not even you. It's hard to be yourself. Yeah. As easy as that sounds, it's hard. On social media, niggas be a whole nother person. You be like, I grew up with this dude. Like, who is this?
This ain't you.
Like
this ain't you.
But it's really hard for them.
I've been seeing a lot of that.
It's hard for them to be themselves, man. But we gonna wrap this up now. I'm glad you came on. I want to tell you on camera and tell everybody out there, go out there, show more black love. Look at you in the eye. I love you, brother. I love you, brother, man. And you know, we ended with speaking to existence, man. Like, this time next year, how do you feel like you'll mature in your life? Like, where do you think you'll be at mentally and things you'll be doing, I guess, this time next summer, speaking to existence?
Summer of 2023, it's going to be different. It's going to be real different. I'm gonna be mentally better, physically better, and I got a lot of stuff pending. We'll just say that.
Yep.
Coming soon.
Do you want to give me your socials? Hey, let's plug your boy right now, man. What's up? What's the music at right now?
Y'all go stream the Wavy tape, man. Wavy H2O. That's my boy Wavy. Go stream the Wavy tape.
Okay, the social medias for it, everything, man. Let them know.
Wavy at Wavy_H2O. That's my boy Wavy. Go mess with him. Go stream that tape and tell him Dre sent you for sure.
Anything else you want to plug before we get out of here?
And my Instagram is at _Dre2Trendy. No, Dre at Dre2Trendy_.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And this is recorded.